Good afternoon, Wicked Edge Expert Corner Group. This is Mark, and I want to try to make a video showing you the sharpening strokes with the name. It is easy when I'm talking and I'm moving to say edge leading when I'm doing an edge trailing and it gets confusing. So it has been suggested to me that I make this simple video. So let me just say this, that your sharpening stones can only go up and down the guide rod. Now how they cross the knife edge is any combination of those motions you can put across when making contact between the stone and the knife edge. The stroke that starts with the stone above the knife edge, that we pull the stone down and on, we are leading into the edge, an edge leading stroke, down and on, down and on. Now, while you are going down and on, you can go forward or come backwards. That's up to you. Down and on, down and on, down and on. It comes from the apex and it pulls the diamonds across the bevel and off the shoulder. Down and on, down and on, down and on. The next is edge trailing, that we're trailing off the edge. Now we start with the stone down below the knife edge. All of the stone strokes are full flat contact. I don't slap the stones against the knife edge. I place them. I feel for full flat purchase and then up and off. Full flat purchase up and off. And as I'm going up and off, there is a bias or a direction to my motion. Sometimes it's straight up and down. If it goes straight up and down, then that scratch pattern will arc across your knife. And that's not necessarily a bad thing if it's done the same on both sides and the edge comes together at a keen edge with flat bevels that come together at a keen apex. It's going to be a very sharp knife. Maybe if you directed the scratches differently, it might have been a sharper knife. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. I do believe so. I do believe that the direction of the scratch pattern adds character to the knife. And I do apply my scratch pattern to my knife edge with that consideration, that I am putting a direction to it, a slant bias to it, with the thought, the plan that it is going to help. And by changing that bias, you can change the character of the knife edge. That's some of the things that I'm working on. Back to the strokes. All of the strokes, even though this is a short knife, I'm doing them in short overlapping. This is down and on, down and on. I'm working behind it going forward, coming behind it going forward. I'm backing up what this side did, that moves steel, that flops over the knife to this backside. Now I'm either abrading it down or pushing it off with my edge trailing. Again, overlapping, coming behind it and going forward, coming behind it and going forward. Edge leading, edge trailing. The combination while always in contact with the edge, is the scrubbing. I'm not going up above it, coming down below it. I'm working with stone stops to help me not go above it or below it, so that I can scrub up and down or round and round. Some places you want to concentrate on to develop that burr that you can see looking at the picture, that you're getting ever so close, and you have to work your way down and work your way up because of the shape of the knife, how the stones contact it. Some places the knife is a little higher than it is here. So because it's higher, it's going to contact the stone first. So it's going to get abraded sooner. So you're going to apex the edge there sooner than you would someplace behind the edge that's lower down, because it doesn't contact the stone until later in the sharpening stroke. As we're scrubbing both sides, we're flattening this way and this way and trying to smooth them so that they come together. While we're doing the scrubbing, we're scrubbing down off the shoulder and moving steel down off the shoulder, essentially forming a burr, just like you're forming a burr up when you scrub and steel flops over on the top side. The plane on the bevel has an apex and a shoulder, and that shoulder has a point where it runs along the knife edge, parallel to the knife edge. That is important when we strop. We're smoothing this as much as we're smoothing that. That we'll talk about later. But we're working overlapping, using all the different strokes, overlapping. When we finally get this so that all of the blue is gone. Whoa, look at that. All of the blue is gone. And I didn't stop in between. I've made all my scrubbing. All of the blue is gone on this side. It's not quite there, but all the blue is gone. Then I will go to the other side and see the other side is not done yet. So now I have to scrub the other side because I'm trying to lose that blue edge. And at the tip, where it curves up a little bit, it has apex and the blue is gone there. So I have some more scrubbing that I have to do here. And I'm trying to scrub both sides so that I'm fixing that bevel from the apex all the way to the shoulder, such that both sides, that height appears the same, that the edge is balanced in the center of the knife when both of the bevels are the same height. Now, because the knife edge may be lower here than there, the bevel height may change along the length of the knife. But for a V-grind centered knife, it should stay the same on both sides. It shouldn't wander and get taller and shorter on one side. It should be the same. Whatever the height is here, it should be the same here. It may be different height here because the shape of the knife and here, but left to right, aesthetically pleasing to the eye, it should be the same. So let me see real quick that little bit of scrubbing what it did. And I'm still not quite there. More scrubbing. And I am pushing with some pressure. I mean, you can hear the drone. And I will scrub it like this, one-sided, because that's what it takes. If I'm not reaching the apex on this back side of the knife that I'm scrubbing on right now, then I have a one-sided knife. I need to reach the apex on both sides. I need to have that scratch pattern from the shoulder to the edge on both sides. Once that scratch pattern goes from the shoulder to the edge on both sides, then, only then, can I start balancing out the knife and making the apex keen and sharp. Right now, all I'm doing is profiling and shaping the knife to the clamping position I chose arbitrarily at the beginning, and the angle I set at 18 degrees. Just picked a number, clamped it in, and put the stones to work on it. And I'm removing all the steel to make that angle match the knife. Whereas the more efficient way of doing it is to sharpen the angle that is on the knife and not to change the angle of the knife without ever considering what the angle was to start with. And that's what I did, because I was just trying to show you sharpening strokes and I wasn't planning on getting this far into it. I'm almost there, just below the edge. Still got a ways to go there. I've reached the edge up at the tip, so I still have about this much more that needs to be done. I'm going to stop here.